This week, the Niue High Court Judge Wilson Isaac made a verdict into the judicial review of a decision made by the Niue Public Service Commission in the matter of names within the Namukulu and Makefu electoral rolls. The decision was received by Justice Department in a report that comes weeks after considering submissions by both legal counsels. Judge Isaac has granted application for judicial review and quashed the decision of the Niue Public Service Commission. Earlier attempts to obtain a recount of the Makefu poll failed after an electoral petition was dismissed by the court. The application for a judicial review was put forward by incumbent Makefu MP Tofua Puletama into the decision made by the chairman of the Niue Public Service Commission to retain two names on the Makefu constituency. The matter has been remitted back to the Niue Public Service Commission, who must now carry out the proper procedures as required by the Niue Assembly Act 1966 and in accordance with the legal principles set out in the judge's decision. We attempted to get a comment from the chairman of the Niue Public Service Commission on what actions would be taken in light of the judge's ruling, but he was unavailable for comment. We will bring you more on this story in our future news bulletin. New Zealand Foreign Minister Murray McCully will lead a delegation of MPs, business people, NGOs, officials and media on the 2011 Pacific Mission to Tonga, Samoa, Cook Islands and Niue this week. Minister McCully said the annual Pacific Mission provides an opportunity for a wide range of New Zealand's representatives to meet with their Pacific counterparts on issues such as trade and investment, development assistance and cultural and sporting ties. It reinforces the importance New Zealand places on the region, its continued growth and development, and the close ties between people at all levels. New Zealand High Commissioner to Niue, His Excellency Mark Blumsky, said Minister McCully is looking forward to arriving on the island, even though his trip is brief.
Minister McCully is very excited coming here because he's had Niue top of mind for a long time now, because he's working with the Premier on getting the whole economic development program together. So he's coming here. He's coming here to meet the Premier, meet the new Cabinet. He's then going to, with the Premier, open the new visitor centre, officially open it, which will be exciting. Then he's going to have a quick look at the wharf and the primary school, and then go to the Matavai. The main excitement, the main part he wants to focus on is the Matavai. It's a big part of the aid budget, the program. And so he's really keen to see the progress and to go and walk where the new buildings are being built and to have a look at the refurbishment program and to then be hosted by the Premier for a luncheon where he'll have a chance to talk, the Premier will have a chance to talk, and the Rugby World Cup people will just give an update on how things are going in New Zealand. So it'll be good.
Some areas of development that New Zealand has funded will also be taken in the visit.
There's been a heck of a lot of money spent on the Matavai in the last 2 months. There's been a whole new kitchen put in. The roof's been totally re-secured. The decking's been replaced where needed all around the lower decks. So there's actually been a ton of work happening at the Matavai. Now, this week, we're starting building the new units, the 20 units. They start building, and the Minister will see where they're going to be positioned. They've been marked, the clearing started. And then in November, the refurbishment of the room starts. So everything is actually 100% to plan. And people aren't allowed to go and have a look in the kitchen, but that's a huge investment. A whole new kitchen in the Matavai was a huge new investment, and that work was done and has been completed. And as I said, same with the re-roofing and all of that. So a lot's been done at the Matavai, and a lot's going to happen at the Matavai. Eventually, the wharf will have to be strengthened or changed or redeveloped, eventually. And that will be a significant investment by a donor. I think it's important the Minister sees it, understands what might have to happen one day, so that when the day comes and the call is asked or the question is asked, he has seen it, has walked it, and understands what it all means. And so he'll be better informed.
Now, some of the money that is from the trust that's been set up is to renovate some of the properties around the island. How far has that gone? Because I know last time there was a call for interested property owners?
We've had some wonderful responses to a wee advertising program we ran on the radio. We've had some very interesting houses, locations, bits of land. They're being put together by Anne-Marie, and the board of the Trust and the Matavai are going to meet here first week August, and we'll have a look at that list and decide how we want to progress.
That is His Excellency Mark Blumsky. As for the expected delegation from New Zealand, the other aspects of the visit to some Pacific nations ahead of the 40th Pacific Island Leaders Forum meeting in New Zealand in September is to gauge priorities on what they wish to discuss at the forum meeting. Another interest close to Pacific people is rugby, and to promote the Rugby World Cup to be held at the same time in New Zealand, rugby legend Jonah Lamu and Rugby NZ 2011 CEO Martin Snaden has been recruited in the delegation to help promote the popular event to young Pacific people. The delegation departed New Zealand yesterday and will arrive Niue on Friday. Niue, a soft adventure tourist destination, has proven more than bargained for in the case of two visiting tourists. A 68-year-old man was reported missing on Saturday evening after he failed to return home from an afternoon walk down to the Lakapa Sea Track. An initial search down the track was fruitless, and the search was called off until early Sunday morning. Chief of Police Mark Chenery says that police staff were out at Lakapa at 6:30 on Sunday, and the man was found 4 hours later, somewhat disorientated, suffering a gash to his leg, and now in hospital recovering. In a separate incident, another tourist was left with a fractured hip after slipping at Matapa on Saturday. The 75-year-old was airlifted by Medevac yesterday morning to New Zealand for further medical treatment. In light of these unfortunate incidents, the Niue police are cautioning visitors to be careful while on the island. Although Niue may seem small and safe, one can still get lost, and the rugged terrain can prove challenging. It is the Rock of Polynesia, after all. The boat's arrival over the weekend has brought some relief for people on the island, especially those who enjoy their beer. A previous shortage of supply left government without options, having to air freight beer at over $6 a can. Whether or not the one container of this shipment will satisfy all or last until the next boat arrives is yet to be seen. Reef shipping agent on the island says that rough conditions at sea within the region have posed delays to the boat arrival. These are matters beyond the shipping company's control. This is something that people also need to understand. However, incoming cargo of this voyage included 17 fuel containers, 15 containers of general consignment, a freezer container, 5 vehicles in bulk timber. As for outgoing cargo, there was 1 container of taro destined for the New Zealand market, consignment of nonu juice, 1 container of empty LPG gas cylinders, private consignment and empty fuel containers. The boat is now on its way to Rarotonga before going to Nuku'alofa, Vavau and then New Zealand. The boat is expected to return in the beginning of August. And that's our news bulletin for tonight. Good evening.